Glimpses of the past. Here are some pictorial glimpses of the history of our country from 1757 to 1857. These pictures and speech bubbles will help clarify your understanding of the conditions that led to the event known as the First War of Independence in 1857. The Martyrs. At a function in Delhi. Oh my countrymen, let your eyes fill with tears as you recall the sacrifices of the India's martyrs. Here, the first picture is at a function in Delhi where we can see Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri and Indira Gandhi seated on the stage. It was spoken to our countrymen to recall the sacrifices of Indian martyrs. The company's conquest 1757 to 1849. With its superior weapons, the British East India Company was extending its power in 18th century in India. Indian princes were short-sighted. That upstart Raja Bai called the English merchants. They will help me to defeat him. The people had no peace due to such constant fights. The rivalries helped the East India Company and it could easily subdue Indian princes one by one. A far-seeing ruler like the brave Tipu of Mysore fought the British till he died fighting. The East Indian Company was in a strong position in India in the year 1757. Compared to the Indian princes, they had superior weapons. Besides, Indian princes were short-sighted in their approach to the events of the time. Indian princes were fighting each other. They often sought the help of the company to defeat other princes. This worked in favor of the company. It could easily subdue these princes one after the other. However, the brave Tipu Sultan of Mysore fought the British. He died in the battlefield fighting the English. How did the Indians react to these conquests? Thank God, there is peace in our country now. No more wars and no looting by thugs. It is God who sent the British. Our destiny is linked with them. The white man has killed or dethroned our kings. Some kings were not good, but after all, they were of this land. Now we have become slaves of foreigners. Here, the general reaction to the British rule was not the same everywhere in India. There were some who thanked the Britishers for assuring an era of peace, but other Indians blamed that the white man had killed and dethroned the Indian kings. Indians felt bad that the country had subjected to foreign rule and made the Indians as slaves in the hands of Britishers. British rule 1765 to 1836. Religious leaders preached ideas like untouchability and child marriage. Anyone who crosses the seas loses his religion. All the misery in the world is due to women. The social fabric was in bad shape. Religious leaders preached absurd practices like untouchability and child marriage. They also said that all the misery in the world is due to women. The truth was that Indians had lost self-respect. The British scorned them. The natives are unworthy of trust, incapable of honesty. True, Your Honor, but I am honest. Being merchants, the British wanted quick profits. Their heavy taxes forced farmers to abandon their fields. But your men are taking all my crops. You are still in arrears. If you don't pay next week, I will send you to jail. Here, in truth, the Indians had lost their self-respect. The Britishers scorned them. Being merchants, the Britishers wanted quick profits, so they forced heavy taxes on farmers. This made the farmers abandon their fields. The Britishers also forced them to pay the arrears. Between 1822 and 1836, 15 lakh Indians died of starvation. Still, the British invented other methods which gave them more profits. The goods manufactured in England should not have any import duty when bought into India. A good idea. The East India Company's law began to cripple Indian industries. The British policies ruined the expert artisans and their business. Here, the Britishers invented new method to gain more profit. The goods manufactured in England did not have any import duty when bought to India. The East India Company's law began to cripple, that means severely damage the Indian industries. It also ruined the expert artisans. Ram Mohan Roy, 1772 to 1833. Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great, and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us. He told his wife Uma, cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. Here, Ram Mohan Roy understood what was wrong with the country. He tried to reform the society. He taught people that the essence of all religions were the same. He was attracted by the science and modern knowledge. Knowledge should be practical and scientific. He started newspapers, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. He crossed the seas and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them, "We accept you as rulers and you must accept us as subjects. But you must remember the responsibility a ruler owes to his subjects." He emphasized the practical use of knowledge. He went to England. There he reminded the British that rulers too had a duty towards their subjects. He started newspapers in India. The suspicious British stopped them in 1823. Oppression 1765 to 1835. But the British continued to oppress Indians. In 1818, they had passed Regulation 3. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. All the time, British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortunes in private business. Here, in 1818, a resolution was passed. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. The British officers drew large salaries. Besides, they made fortunes in business. By 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. The British prospered on the company's loot while Indian industries began to die. Governor General Bentinck reported back home, "The bones of the cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India." Here, by 1829, Britain was exporting goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. Even the British Governor General of India, Bentinck, reported to England, "The bones of the cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India." Thus, the British prospered on the ruins of Indian industry. Dissatisfaction 1835 to 56. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. In 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. "We should teach the natives through the English language." I agree. English education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty jobs under them. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. We must educate our brothers and try to improve their material conditions. For that, we must convey our grievances to the British Parliament. Here, in 1835, Lord Macaulay suggested that the medium of education in India should be English. The proposal was carried. The aim was to produce an army of clerks to assist the British. It happened, but it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. Some of them tried to educate the masses. Some decided to convey the grievances of the people to the British Parliament. By 1856, the British had conquered the whole of India. They cared little about the needs of Indians. "Our kings have become puppets and we have lost our old jobs and lands. They are converting our brothers. You only talk. Do something to drive them out." By 1856, the British were ruling the whole of India. Now, they cared little about Indians' needs. This dissatisfaction in the public began to grow. People wanted to get rid of the British. The Sparks, 1855 to 57. Taxes continued to ruin the peasants. In Bengal, the Santals, who had lost their lands under new land rules, became desperate. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and massacred Europeans and their supporters alike. Under the new rules, Santals had become desperate. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and killed the Europeans and their servants alike. Discontent was brewing in the East India Company's army too. The white soldiers get huge pay, mansions to live in, servants, while we get a pittance and slow promotions. The Angrez asked us to cross the sea, which is against our religion. Who is the Topiwalas to abolish our age-old customs? Thousands of other sepoys revolted. They were stripped of their uniforms, humiliated, and put in irons. Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and was executed. The discontent was brewing in the East India Company's army too. The white soldiers got huge pay, mansions to live in, and also servants to serve. The Indians got very small amount and also slow promotions. The Indians felt angry when the Englishmen asked them to cross the sea, which was against the Hindu religion. Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and he was executed. Thousands of other sepoys also revolted. Few Englishmen had cared to understand Indian customs or people's mind. O proud Brahmin soldiers, do you know that the grease on the bullet you have to bite is made from the fat of cows and pigs? What? The white man has deceived us too. Soon, chapatis were sent from village to village to tell the people that the emperor would want their services. Yes, all my village men will be ready. Similarly, lotus flowers circulated among Indian soldiers. Death to the foreigner. The masses gave all help and shelter to the patriots. Here, the English did not care about Indian customs. Chapatis were sent from village to village. With them was the message that their native emperor would want their services. Similarly, a lotus flower circulated among Indian soldiers. The masses also gave all help and support. Revolt 1857. Then there was a violent outbreak at Meerut. The sepoys marched to Delhi. Long live our Emperor Bahadur Shah. Here, the revolt started at Meerut. The sepoys who had revolted marched to Delhi. They were shouting slogans in favor of Bahadur Shah Jafar. The rebellion spread wider. Many landlords had lost their lands because of the British policies and they were sore. The white man's rule must end. Yes, we will help you. The rebellion spread wider. Many landlords had lost their lands. They helped the revolt. The fight for freedom 1857. Many former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were bitter. The white man has taken away my kingdom. They joined the upsurge against the foreigner. Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad told the people, rise brothers, rise. The Angrez is ruining our land. The people rose everywhere in Bareilly, Kanpur and Allahabad. Here, many rulers like Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were bitter. The English had taken away their kingdom. Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad urged the common man to revolt. Azimullah Khan told Tatya Top, we should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as a leader in this war of independence. The patriots pounced upon the British and fought pitched battles all over North India. 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar received a bullet in his wrist. Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. Ahmadullah Khan told Tatya Top to make Nana Sahib the leader of that war of independence. All over North India, the people fought pitched battles against the British. 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar received the bullet in his wrist. He just cut it off. Throwing it into the Ganga, he said that it was his last offering.